Welcome back to Stars and Cards. I'm Mona.
I am Miss Kina Marie.
And today we talking shit about the zodiac signs. So don't get too in your feelings. These are based on stone cold facts. Don't take it up with us, take it up with God for how the planets work and how things align. Like, not to say that just because these are negative traits that you exhibit them, and if you don't, good for you.
If
But
it don't apply, let it fly.
But for those of you where you're just like, yeah, that's spot on, please drop it below in the comments. Let us know which signs we roasted top tier. Um,
Let us know your thoughts too. And listen, if you ain't got tough skin, don't come on over here. Don't
ever,
don't, don't come on over here
ever.
if you got tough skin because if it don't apply to you, that's fine.
So we're gonna go in order. Let's start with Aries, which even though we're number one, we are the baby of the zodiac. What if my husband told me the other day he watched a video where they were saying that like people with Aries suns usually behave like they're between the ages of like 2 and 7, I think he said.
Like they
Guess
can do what the
what?
fuck they want to
And we do.
do. I have one. I have a 4-year-old Aries son. She does what she wants to do. She don't care.
So, we took some notes, and from the notes that we have, Aries' top traits, like their top negative traits, very impatient, extremely impatient, very demanding. We want microwave blessings. We want microwave solutions. We want microwaved everything. Why is it taking so long when I asked for it? Like, I could
Yeah.
say for me, that's spot on. And this level of impulsiveness and impatience does stem from Mars is our ruling planet, right, Kina?
Yes. And listen, if you, with Mars being the ruler of Aries, Mars has its own little traits, okay? Aggression. Mars is the planet of war. So, yeah, aggression. Mars is the planet of passion. So, that can be possessiveness.
Dominance was another trait. Yes.
And impulsive. You know, we also have competitiveness. You know, Aries are the first of the zodiac. They are a cardinal, so they want to get shit done, you know, and they will, if you try to go toe to toe with them, they like to compete. They're very athletic people and they like to compete there. And when they mad, they can be ruthless.
Don't fuck around.
Ruthless. Now, my 4-year-old has a temper tantrum. And I just sit there. Okay, let it all out. Release.
That really was all of it for Aries.
Yeah.
And then I always tell people there's a difference between unevolved Aries or unevolved any sign
Yeah.
and unevolved. People who like fall on the scale of being unevolved for any of the zodiac signs, they will exhibit the worst of the worst. Like they become literal case studies for all of the negative things that are said about the sign. But for those of us like who do evolve, Kina and I recorded a rant before this, and we talked about me being frustrated because I've been allowing people to like trigger me. And she's like, well, how do you stop doing something like that? Comes down to power plays. And even to your point, Kina, we are very much like dominant. And
Yeah.
the natural response for me is to fly off the fucking handles. Like,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't care what it is. I am going from 0 to 100, positive, negative, somewhere in between. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. But when you become evolved in yourself, you learn how to stop doing that shit. I can't just
Yeah.
be running around acting crazy because I'm an Aries.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
you know, if you've been one that has went through your shadow work and stuff, like, and you know, of course, when we get to me, the completely last of the zodiac, I can tell you about both sides.
yep.
You know, and that's that's just what comes. You got to evolve, so you've really done your work and you've really overcame that, and then don't think because you evolve that you don't sometimes,
It's sucked in. It takes a lot to hold your shit.
yeah, yeah,
You don't
yeah.
stop having to hold your shit. That is an inevitable part of the process
Hmm.
of growth.
Hmm.
Motherfuckers that be grown and together, they're grown and together because they get comfortable with repeatedly making the decision to grow up.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it ain't a one and done, y'all. Cause I'm telling you, wrong shit pop off on my head. I guarantee you. It's just the conditions have to be right. Like,
Yeah.
last negative thing I'm gonna say about Aries, I've heard this about myself as well. And to Kina's point about how Mars, it is our ruling planet and it does represent passion and war. You know, they say all things are fair in love and war. Aries are some dirty, trifling hoes. Now,
Now.
now, for those of us who do evolve, like you really do come to understand that just because you have that passionate, fiery energy, that
Hmm.
you don't have to just be slandering that shit everywhere. Like you learn to
Hmm.
preserve it for when the time is right. But
Yes.
an unevolved Aries, nasty hoe.
Throwing it in the circle.
Don't take it personal, but if that resonated for you, friend, pull your shit together. You good.
I got heavy areas in my chart, and when I tell y'all I've lived my best life and being delivered is amazing.
I'm an Aries Venus, and so is my husband.
Ooh.
And we are we're monogamous, but there is that passion. I got 5 kids, y'all. I didn't have them by accident. I didn't wasn't there's no birthdays and holidays. Is you busy? Let's get to it. Close the door. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
wild. So I think we slandered Aries a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk a little
Yeah.
more shit once we get to Leo. I got my picks. Like, I think that some of the worst, and it's crazy because they be sister signs. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
the sister sign of Aries? Do you know, Kina? Is Pisces the
Libra.
opposite?
Libra.
Libra.
Libra is the
How
sister.
ironic is that?
Yes. Libra. Yes. Mhm.
So total opposite of like Aries energy. It's
Yes.
insane. But
Yes.
even thinking about being on a scale of being evolved, I guess at that point you may tip a little more into your sister sign and you do become very
You
harmonious,
do. You
peaceful.
do. Aries don't care. They do what they want to do. Libras will be sneaky with it. Yeah. Virgo is my sister sign, and I vowed to never ever deal with a Virgo again, and I won't ever deal with a Virgo again. No. And that's my sister sign. I realized like, damn, I kind of like these motherfuckers.
All right, so let's slander them stubborn, possessive, lazy ass Tauruses. So, what planet is Taurus ruled by?
Venus.
How ironic. How ironic. Because I think that Tauruses can be very gentle, but fuck all that gentle shit. We trash talking today. Stubbornness. Stubbornness was one of the most toxic traits of Taurus. They are very resistant to change. They like to cling to their comfort zones, which at that point, it's part of what makes them lazy. They like comfort. They like stagnation. Stability is what they will label it as when it's at its lowest. And like, yeah, very possessive as well. Um, and that possessiveness that comes with the Taurus can then like lead into jealousy, controlling
Mhm.
tendencies, putting
Mhm.
lots of strains on their relationships as well. And even at that point, I could just imagine that for someone dealing with a very unevolved Taurus, it's just like, how the fuck you don't want to do shit? You don't want to change. You don't want to be different. And then you want me to just stay put and be this way. That don't make no sense.
I thank divine for an unevolved Taurus that changed my life. I started my spiritual journey The unevolved Taurus. When I unevolved Tauruses, they some little hoes. They thought it's Venus is the planet of love. Venus is the planet of love. So vanity is definitely a when I looked it up, vanity was the top most negative trait about anybody that is about Venus. And with Venus ruling Taurus as well as Libra, vanity was top. Um,
Really?
yeah,
I
vanity was top.
crazy.
Yes. Lack of emotional depth.
I can see that
Yes.
because and it's funny because I really don't know too many Tauruses. I have a really good Taurus client,
Mhm.
and I've seen her through a marriage, a long-term relationship, and some business changes and things like that. And then I have my brother,
Mhm.
who is also a Taurus,
Mhm.
but he's really on the cusp. He probably should have been a Gemini, and my mama had him in the middle of the afternoon. So,
My dad's a Taurus.
but I could see like where we had to have a conversation during one of our live coaching sessions, me and this Taurus client, about fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. And with Taurus, I feel like this is something where they all kind of need that reality check of, is this thing that you've decided is for you or it has to be this way? Is it really helping you grow? Like, do you really think that just because you say so, that that makes it acceptable? Like,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so general consensus was that Taurus ain't shit, and unless they're ready to evolve, they're pretty crappy, crummy people.
Now Taurus can be materialistic too. You know,
Yes,
because Taurus is the planet of our monies, of our possessions. And so you a real materialistic, I always got to have, you can have a Taurus like that too. You know,
I love my brother, but I definitely see that. Same for my client. I
Taurus
see
and
that,
Virgo, Taurus and Virgo are my top ones that I got shit to
baby.
say.
Aquarius and Leo for me.
Aquarius is on its way, joining the crowd. Joining the crowd. And that's I'm surrounded by Aquarius people. I attract Aquarius people in my life.
Aquarius people are such a fucking vibe. Do we need to skip over Gemini and just start trash talking Aquarius? Um, Aquarius
They are vibe.
are such a vibe. They're
Yeah.
such a vibe. But
Yes.
when we start talking about like evolved versus unevolved, you don't want to fuck with an unevolved Leo. You don't want to fuck with an unevolved Cancer. You don't want to fuck with an unevolved Aries. And you definitely do not want to fuck with an unevolved Leo or Aquarius. Awful, 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 awful people. They will take you for a ride straight the fuck to hell and then look you in your face and ask you, how did we get here? And why is this your fault? Insanity.
You got
Okay.
to be built for it tough. You got to be built for it. Rebellion. Uh, they're ruled by the planet Uranus, the planet that of change. It's not like change and transformation like Pluto, but it's a change in your growth and in your spiritual growth, and and they like to do things different from anybody else, but it
Lord,
also
and
has a
don't let
certain
them
taste.
find out that what they're doing is something that's become the brand standard because they will totally stop and strip themselves and try to do something totally different.
Rebellious, like disruptive. I'm finna disrupt all your shit. I'm
Practical aliens, like
Yeah,
unhinged.
yeah.
Very
I
intriguing.
remember that scene. I think it was Love and Hip Hop with K Michelle, and they said this bitch shaking the table. It was probably an Aquarius that flipped the table, just flipped it. Yeah.
That's tough. Okay, I'm gonna save my Aquarius. Aquarius is gonna come right before Pisces, and I'm gonna save that slander to the because I'm gonna talk my shit. My husband's gonna be like, "You need to slow down on that." No, 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 no,
No,
no.
for real. My wife, our spouses are Aquarius people, so you know.
It'd be funny to me. Me and my sister, like, I call her sometimes, and I'd be like, "Girl, let me tell you about this client," and she'd be like, "Damn," and I'd be like, "But wait, first of all, they're with an Aquarius." We tackle something crazy because, yeah, the shenanigans are going to be unhinged at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to these crazy ass Geminis. I actually have Gemini twins, y'all. I have Gemini twins, and they
But
are insane.
don't do
Nuts.
don't do them. Don't do Mags. Don't do Mags.
Saint ass too. Saint ass too.
I
Like,
seen this pass a couple times, but Mags, she she can do what she want to do.
she really can, and she knows that she can. And like, so the top three negative traits about Gemini were inconsistency, superficiality, and restlessness. My babies are very much,
Mhm,
they very much.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
and I've had Gemini friends, I've had Gemini clients. One of my best friends was a Gemini. Nuts. We ain't friends no more. Nuts. And Gemini is ruled by who, Kina?
Mercury. So they'll lie. They'll lie. They'll lie. I have a Gemini guy friend. If this man he just lie. What you lying for? And they like tea. I'm telling you, they gossip and they got some tea for you.
Even the one like Gemini client of mine, after my best friend and I broke up, and we never really addressed why I separated myself from the connection because we didn't need to talk about it in my personal defense.
Mhm.
She couldn't sit the fuck down. She was always just like in the motherfucking mix. And not just like in the clubs, but like in the middle of some bullshit.
Mhm.
Very fake, very much lying, very much
Mhm.
focusing on like how they need to present themselves to the world to ensure
Mhm.
that the world will accept them.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And it's not some like a lot of, especially we shit talking, so I don't give a fuck. With a Gemini, when it's negatively aspected, we talking unevolved,
Two
a
face.
nutcase. A nutcase. Like, whereas an Aries would try to just drive you crazy. Like a Gemini will try to do the craziest shit to keep you present and to keep you believing whatever it is that they pulled into. And even with the inconsistency, one of
Mhm.
Gemini's issues, and it's because of the dual nature, that's why you guys are the twins, is that you motherfucker Geminis can change from this to that real quick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you be thinking, I'm so adaptable. Motherfucker, you is nuts.
Over analyze everything. Over analyze everything.
And even in my notes, like Mercury, their ruling planet, governs intellect, adding to their restless curiosity, but
Yeah.
sometimes making them unreliable. Y'all
Mhm.
so focused and like trying to overanalyze and process
Mhm. Mhm.
yo fake ass nature. All y'all ain't fake. What we said, if you ain't got thick skin, turn it off now, Gemini. We won't know. But the fake ass shit, the lies, the trying to like, nope, 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 nope. A pot of bullshit. You hear me? I told myself I would never have another Gemini friend. And even after I broke up with my best friend, I had befriended another client who was also a Gemini. And she was going through like some shit in her marriage, but it was just like, Where at some point I'm like, yeah, nah, you crazy. Block. Nope.
I was just wondering what your block list look like.
It's long. It's very long. I was going through, look, because I told y'all about my tourist client. If she watching this, find out I don't give a fuck. She had pissed me off. And she didn't show up for her life coaching. She didn't respond to none of my messages for like 3 days. I blocked that bitch too. I don't give a fuck. And then I had to go back through my phone because she sent me these screenshots. She's like, I messaged you back on Sunday afternoon. Well, baby, you were blocked Sunday morning. You were 3 days too late. Scrolling through my block, trying to find her number to unblock her. Like,
Oh no.
it had to be at least 100 phone numbers. And then on Facebook, endless. On TikTok, don't even fucking get me started. I block people on YouTube. I don't care. Peace must be protected.
Listen,
Or I turn into an Aries around this bitch.
we
So
ain't, we ain't got into Pisces, but we will ghost you. We will.
quickly, I'm a Pisces moon. I am
We
a Pisces moon.
we will ghost your ass
Out of there.
and not give two fucks.
Gosh.
What is
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Gemini, we love you anyway. I love my twins. The rest of you motherfuckers. Just kidding. But I'm serious though. This is fun.
Yes.
Uh, okay.
Make love it.
Cancer. Yeah.
I have a Cancer teenager, and so they say when they say that cancers are emotional, when a Cancer stops giving a fuck, they don't give a fuck. Like, we'll sit there and just ignore you, like, okay, and then look you dead in your face, and you just don't see, like, you will see that I don't give a fuck in their eyes. But when that's unevolved, I'm telling you, when they cut, if you are one, I watch Vampire Diaries, and they speak of shutting off your humanity. When a Cancer shuts their humanity off, baby.
Hang it up, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
That is crazy.
yeah.
Top three negative things about cancers based on my research was moodiness. I definitely do think mood swings for sure. The only cancer that I had ever really been around was my mother-in-law, and she fits. My husband be like, you gotta stop caring about, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk shit about her and the cancers every motherfucking opportunity I get. Because I'm an Aries and I'm sensitive about my shit. Um, Moody, clingy, pessimistic. What's their ruling planet, Kina?
The moon. And that comes with emotional turmoil, moodiness, oversensitivity, fearfulness, indecisiveness, and clinginess.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's like an emotional times 10. And it's like it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming.
I
It can be
see that.
overwhelming.
Because, like I said before we did this today, we recorded a rant and I talked to Kina about feeling overwhelmed by the level of like emotional impact life has just been having on me lately. Because it's just like, damn, you can't hold your shit together. And
Mhm.
for Cancer to be ruled by the moon, to be a very fluid water planet, like
Yeah.
I
Yes.
bet that it almost feels for a Cancer like you can't stop, and that has to drive them a little nutty.
Yeah.
It's got to drive them a little nutty.
Yeah. This it's like they have their negative traits, but it's not extreme. Clinginess here and there. The indecisiveness is it gives naive.
I could say that. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, with the indecisiveness. Um, yeah, especially being ruled by the moon. That's yeah, and every single planet comes with the moon. So you got to think that cancers have to experience all of the other planets, and they probably just lose their fucking shit.
That's tough. Honestly, never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
And I will say that even in dealing with my cancer mother-in-law, my therapist told me once, like, you got to consider how hard it must be for her to just process the world around her, for her to make those decisions. And I will say that, like, for those of you where you're like, yeah, cancer's the worst, you think about the fact that y'all don't understand how the body is made up of something like what, 70-80% water.
Mm-hmm.
To then be a water sign that is ruled by a planet, or the moon is a rock, I don't fucking know, that really does have a significant impact on water.
Mm-hmm.
Moon is so serious, they base
It
when
is.
Easter is gonna come up on the moon.
It
Like,
is.
it's that deep.
It's
And
it's phases, like,
it's constantly changing. Like, that
yeah,
really, that's heavy for them. I never thought about it.
yeah.
Never thought
Yeah.
about it. That's rough.
They still the most. Y'all not getting off slick. Y'all the absolute most. Like, moodiness will switch the with especially being real about it, the moodiness will switch and flip so damn much. You just never know what they're feeling, and then like 5 minutes later they're feeling something else, and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck just happened? The oversensitivity, definitely. And the moon, the cancer is cardinal.
Really? Which makes it even worse for
The
them because,
Scorpio
like,
is fixed, and I know Pisces is mutable, so cancers are cardinal.
that's tough because even for me is like an Aries sun, and then again being very, very much Aries ruled in my chart,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that being cardinal as well. Again, that has to be really, really difficult for cancers. And knowing that people don't, and on that note, if you are a cancer and you are struggling with your emotional shit, please check the link below.
Yes.
Especially if you're on YouTube, book a life coaching session. 'Cause I focus heavily on like
Shit.
emotional growth and validation and things of that
Mhm.
nature. It's not necessarily a sales pitch, so I don't give a fuck how you learn how to
Mhm.
control your emotions. But if you wanted to just give somebody some money, $60, and really get a hold of yourself for your own health and safety, and also for the sake of the people around you.
Mhm.
For people that don't know how to hold their shit as cancers, that has to feel unbearable.
Mhm.
That's heavy. I'd be
Mhm.
pessimistic too, goddamn it. That's tough.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Good old Cancer. Rule of the moon.
Y'all saw
That's
my
like
rolled eyes.
mm.
Heavy on the cackle. Let's get the fucking to them crazy ass Leos. I would like to preface this by saying I was raised by a Leo mother and a Leo stepfather. Their birthdays were a day apart. I got real deal experience with Leos, so do believe me when I tell you my slander comes heavily laced with real deal tea, okay? Leos, who they ruled by, Kina?
The sun.
And y'all know what it means when you're ruled by the sun? It means your bullshit is illuminated times 12. Times 12. One time for each of the zodiac signs. Leos are very arrogant. Their ruling, like your ruling planet being the sun as a Leo, it gives you a natural fucking sense of importance. They're arrogant. They're self-centered. Me, 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 me. And who's their opposite, Kina?
Leo's opposing sign.
Aquarius.
It. We were talking about the sun.
Motherfuckers is crazy. Even their opposite sign is like crazy. They are very arrogant. They can be very, very dismissive. Attention seeking is another significant thing for Leos. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Just
desire for validation and to be illuminated with all of the me glory and all of the things, it makes them very attention seeking. And like we talked about with the rest of the signs, in my opinion, an evolved Leo would find a way to make themselves a celebrity in their own right with business, with TV, with
Mhm,
music,
mhm.
with like art. You know what I'm saying? Unevolved, they thirst trapping, they're doing all types of shit just for people to give them attention.
Yeah, needing that validation. Mhm, mhm.
Even my mom, like, she's in her 50s as a Leo, and it's just like you can see how that attention seeking has amplified
Yeah,
for her over the years, where it's just like, you don't need nobody to tell you you hot shit for you to be hot shit. You could just exist as hot shit if that's what you are. Leos don't get that. Everybody needs to feed into their shits.
yes,
Um, Stubbornness was another big negative trait
yes.
of Leo, akin to how Tauruses are very stubborn, very resistant to change, very inflexible,
Mhm.
very me. And the sun's presence really kind of reinforces that self-assured
It
nature where they
it
cannot
binds you
consider.
right in.
Yes, you can't
They
argue
don't
with a
think
Leo
they
about
can.
shit.
No, just they're very argumentative. Do not argue with an Aries. The best way, I'm with the Aries. I'm sorry, with a Leo.
Don't
The
argue with an
best
Aries either.
way,
We hit.
yeah, with Leos, the best thing to do is not to give it any energy. They don't do no wrong. You cannot argue with a Leo. Very argumentative.
What you asked me earlier, how do you get to a place like that where you just don't? My mother is a Leo and she is textbook beautiful person. Beautiful person. She has a lot of beautiful things about her. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, she's very much a fucking Leo. She is. And she teeters a lot more on that unevolved sign. And like
Hmm.
you can't argue with the Leo. You can't reason with the Leo. You can't get a Leo to look at anything any different. You can't get a Leo to do anything that they don't want to do
You
because
can't
it's
give
their
them
show.
advice, and you can't give them advice while they are in the unevolved state. They have to experience some shit that makes them want to become evolved. You cannot give them advice. They
Yeah.
don't want to hear shit you have to say. They are right, you are wrong. Shut the fuck
Heavy on all of that.
up. I have a Leo I have a Leo sister and I love her to death. And she's beautiful. They're ruled by the sun. They are radiating and they are
Meant to be looked
beautiful.
at.
But baby, don't argue with them and do not try. They will get it when it's time for them to get it. Okay. On their own time.
Yeah, and I will say that like even for me thinking about Messy Monday, the comments, especially like if I say in one of those videos that I feel that Leo is highly aspected there, there's usually a significant outpouring of it's a Leo, where I don't know, some about y'all very tyrannical, similar to the way that people are with Aquarius. Like that's tough.
The traits are definitely, you can tell, even though they're sister signs, they have very similar traits.
Yes. I will say though, especially since I talk so much shit about Leo and I know y'all take shit personal. I think you guys are very fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yes, we'll turn up, have a good time. Yes.
Life of the party. It's part of being ruled by the sun, but like for
Mhm.
people. Let's move on to Virgo. So my top three negative traits for Virgos, and Virgos ruled by which
Merc-
planet, Kina?
Mercury, just like Gemini. Yes. I will pick your ass apart. Okay. Judge you. You
Oh,
are
Vord
judged.
critical. Yes. 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 Keith is at my husband. He's actually a Virgo rising.
Okay.
And my oldest is also a Virgo rising.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very much into perfectionism as well,
Mm-hmm.
where things
Mm-hmm.
have to be a very specific way. It has to work a certain way. It's got
Mm-hmm.
to look a certain way. It's got to sound a certain way. It's got to function a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It's that deep for Virgos all the time. And like, while that can lead to really good things, because there's nothing wrong with being organized and there's nothing wrong with analyzing. But
Mm-hmm.
with Virgo, it tends to go too fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
It goes too far. And like, even in my final notes about worrying being their third negative trait, I have Virgos tend to worry excessively, focusing on potential problems.
Yeah.
Their habit of overthinking, influenced by Mercury, can create unnecessary stress and prevent them from enjoying the present moment. I agree. All of the Virgos that I know, they're so focused on the how and like trying to make sure that things could be boom, 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 boom. They don't
Mm-hmm.
get a ton done.
Yeah.
They don't get a ton done.
Yeah.
They struggle.
Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you that, listen, when I say they will judge you. They will judge you. And who cares if they're doing the same thing? Who cares if they're the same way as you? They will still nitpicky. They will poke and poke and poke. And they will, the criticism is one of the traits for Mercury. Criticism. Yeah. You say, only God can judge me. And a Virgo.
I gotta put that on a shirt. Let me update my notes. We may need to collab on that, Kina. Drop a stars and cards t-shirt
Listen,
collection. Only God can judge me and a Virgo.
because they will. They will. They will. Okay. They don't care.
That's
Um,
tough.
yeah. Yeah. Dishonesty was one of the traits for Mercury as well. You know, Mercury is the planet of communication. And so, you know, again, they will chew your ass and spit you out and be real sneaky and conniving and dishonest behind closed doors.
I can see that as well, because like
Yeah.
even just thinking about how, bless you, how intentional Virgos are. Like we
Mhm,
keep talking about with that evolved versus
mhm,
unevolved, it's very easy for
mhm.
anything that could be really positive to turn into a negative. And when we start talking about unevolved, think about toddlers or just like a
Yeah.
genuine sense of immaturity.
Mhm.
Someone who's calculated, oh, dangerous. They will lie, they will scheme, they will partake in very devious actions, especially as it relates to communication.
And that's Mercury ruled zodiacs, Gemini and Virgo.
I told y'all, those Geminis unhinged. That's tough
Yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is really tough.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Libra.
Libra. You know, I have that I am aware of or that I can recall one Libra in my life. And that's a zodiac that is still I'm still really picking up on their space. Um Indecisiveness, they don't know what they want.
Oh, for sure. That's my number one trait. My baby, my oldest daughter, she's 6. She's a Libra.
Mhm.
I think that Libras are very beautiful people.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that all Libras, whether they know it or not, they really just want for things to be harmonious and beautiful and like together in their lives.
Mhm.
But it's like something about Libra. They just can't seem to fucking pull it together.
Mhm.
They can't seem to pull it together. My baby is so indecisive. I snapped at her. This was probably about 12 days ago. We go to get donuts, and I'm like, well, what kind of donut do you want? Because we're ordering on the app. She's like, I want the spider donut. So, are you sure you want the spider donut? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, well, maybe lemon. And she's like, no, 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 no. Give me the spider donut. So we get the spider donut. She in the back seat. She says, damn. She didn't say damn, but she looked at her brother and
I was
she,
gonna say for
girl, no, not my kids, no.
real.
But she looked at him and she was like, did you at least get the donuts you wanted? You asked me for this spider donut. I clarified with you. I asked you, were you sure? And you're in my back seat, trash talking me, sister girl. She does shit like that all the time, where like, even sometimes I'll be fixing lunch, and lunch at our house, it's not necessarily optional. Y'all, I homeschool, so my kids are always home.
Mhm.
Lunch is not necessarily optional, but they stagger sometimes through lunchtime.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, baby, you hungry? And she'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna eat later. I just had fruit, or I have a banana or whatever.
Mhm.
She'll wait until I'm ready to move on to my next thing. Where's my food? Heavy on the indecisives. In my notes, I put Libra's desire for harmony can lead to indecision and fear of conflict. I will say that as well,
Yeah.
because people pleasing was number two and superficiality was number three for
Mhm.
Libra. And you
Mhm.
said Libra's the opposite of Aries. Funny.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, she all of that, but she's
Mhm.
such a beautiful fucking, I love her.
Mhm.
I love her. My Libra baby to me reminds me of the Temperance card. Just very
Mhm.
beautiful and like, and I feel like a lot of Libras kind of fall into that shit. I've
Yeah.
heard people say that Libras can be liars and that they can be, what I say about Aries, I call them nasty hoes. Maybe not nasty hoes, but sloppy hoes.
Yes, and that's definitely the top. Again, it's ruled by Venus, so vanity. They some freaking nasties. And it's gonna take something because of the indecisiveness. It takes a lot to make a Libra settle down. It takes something to make them settle down. It does. Um, it says self indulgence.
Yes.
Materialism. Um, I guess I can't see the materialism part.
No,
Um,
because I feel like they're pretty good. Like, pretty cool, you know?
yeah,
Ah,
they definitely give people pleasing, which
oh,
why the dishonesty comes from the people pleasing. They don't like to be involved in disharmony, but they will cause some disharmony just because they like to be dishonest. You know, um, so they say lack of emotional depth.
that's the superficiality.
Yeah.
I had done a deep natal report for one of my Libra clients,
Mhm.
and getting to see her natal chart and seeing she was a Libra Sun, a Libra Venus. She was a Libra midheaven. She was like
Mhm.
also a Libra Chiron. I believe she was a Libra. Like she was big Libra.
Mm.
And one of the deepest warnings that you have to give to someone who has Libra so highly aspected in their charts. This is
Yeah.
another reason why you guys should all pull your natal charts. Because, like, yeah, you
Yes.
be an Aries or Scorpio or a Libra or whatever, but like, you don't know how deep that sign is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And with having a lot of Libra placements in your chart, sometimes they're not able to see the bigger picture because they're just focused on making things look good and
Mm-hmm.
seem like they're flowing in harmony. And so if something feels comfortable for them, they're okay. But if something disrupts their flow of harmony, they don't want
Mm-hmm.
to participate anymore. They don't want a conflict, which is necessary for communication. It's necessary for all the things. Like they're either in it because it's working and it's beautiful and it's harmonious and people are happy, or they're
Mhm.
not. And you can't be that surface level with shit. You can't.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's definitely given.
I don't
Ooh,
have too many bad things to say about Libra, believe it or not. Like,
wow.
I have a handful of signs where Libra's probably one of the few where I
Yeah.
don't have too many bad things to say about Libra because
Mm,
you can't argue with peace. It's just like get a fucking backbone though, you know? Get some
yeah.
substance about yourself. But other than that, beautiful
It's
people.
it's Libra and Cancer. I really don't have a lot
Shit.
to.
My mother-in-law fucked it up for Cancer forever, and I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say that till the day I die. Scorpio.
Well, ooh, child. Mm. Scorpio, ruled by the planets of death, transformation, and rebirth.
I
Yeah.
don't remember who I was like, what reading this was, if it was a general, if it was a personal, but I was really explaining to somebody about how difficult things become when Pluto is involved. Pluto and Scorpio are synonymous, right? Um, how many ruling planets does Scorpio have? Is it more than one or
No, Scorpio is co-ruled. Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars, the planet of war and passion. So Scorpios are very impassionate. They're very intense. They're very emotional, but they are stuck and stubborn in their ways. They are a fixed sign.
and cold? They're cold.
Yeah.
Pluto's so fucking far away from everything else.
Yeah.
It's freezing and like I think that's the thing for people to understand as well. You know who you are zodiac wise, but it's important to understand what that means for you on a planetary aspect. Pluto is like otherworldly. It's covered in ice, like so is Scorpio. But I told that client that anytime Pluto or Scorpio are involved in the mix, that's no shade, all fucking tea. Things get very muddy, they get very mysterious, they get very vindictive, they just get dark.
Yeah.
That's heavy. And happy Scorpio
Yeah.
season to y'all.
The
Um,
combination represents taboo and the underworld, the darker side of things.
damn,
The
you think
moon.
the devil will be a Scorpio?
Listen,
Fuck,
probably,
that's hilarious.
listen. I Yeah, and then the moon was in Scorpio yesterday. So I can just imagine the intensity of two water signs yesterday. With Pluto obsession. If a Scorpio say you are theirs, good luck getting away. Good luck getting away. Controlling is good. Manipulation, listen, it's a water sign. Water signs can talk a good game, you know?
Because picture me looking up to see what Lucifer's sun sign would be.
I know you would do it.
It's Aries.
Because, it's said that Jesus is a Pisces.
Yeah.
And I have a theory
Okay.
because I was raised in a church. I have a theory that who they say Lucifer is Jesus's shadow side.
Hey, yes. We'll have to do that very taboo topic one of these days where we make comparisons in the Bible and like draw a line between that and
That's
spirituality.
gonna
We could talk
piss.
about that for hours.
That's gonna piss some
Well,
people.
oh, girl, please. We might be on the news when we get there.
Listen, but that
But
makes sense with Pisces if it represents Jesus, the last of the zodiac, and Aries representing Lucifer the first. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna
I
thought
wouldn't
about
say
that.
Lucifer, but y'all may be some, like the Maya's a little terrorist. Like you just walking through here, just doing whatever you want, just wrecking havoc and shit. You don't care about anybody's feelings, or you just do what you want to do. Like,
I will say, like, before I started my spiritual journey, I thought that my soul was dark and I thought I might have been a little evil because life was heavy. And like I trash talk my own sun sign because I know how we rock as a collective.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's tough shit. I shouldn't be surprised that Lucifer's an Aries, but it's also just like I am.
Whoa, me?
No
Oh.
way. So we running out of time. To finish the slander of the Scorpios. You guys are not the devil. I love that for you. But y'all are co-ruled by some of the worst, not the worst planets. It's necessary for divine balance to be present. Like you have to have sadness, you gotta have dark,
Mm-hmm,
you have to have those other things
mm-hmm.
to maintain balance.
Yes,
But it's
absolutely.
just like, why me though? You guys,
Mars and Pluto, that's heavy.
top thing was jealousy
Yeah,
because of the intense level of emotion. Scorpios are water signs.
yeah.
We told y'all about water, and it's free flowing. And think about how water changes depending on the other surrounding elements. You add a little air with some water, you got a tsunami. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm,
that's tough shit. Secretiveness. Scorpios need privacy, but that's really heavy into Pluto's energy where
mhm,
things need to be like hidden away. And
mhm.
then restfulness, a Scorpio will hold a fucking grudge, unlike any. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. If they don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you. If they don't fuck with you, they don't fuck with you. It's not on the list, but they some thoughts too, because
I could see that.
they assume to be the most, which they planetary. They are the most sexual sign of the zodiac.
Which I'm really surprised about because I feel like it should be Aries, but that might be my competitive nature.
See, yes, and they know it. They know it, and so that's where the control and manipulation and Scorpios is giving real dominatrix energy.
Yeah. I feel
Christian
like
Grey.
that's Pluto though. Pluto.
That's Pluto.
Yeah.
That's Pluto. Transformative. So you just never know what you're gonna get. You just never know. Shit's always changing and shifting. You just never know. You just have to go along for the ride with Pluto.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Sagittarius.
Sag.
My top three traits, the top three negative ones were impulsiveness, bluntness, and restlessness.
Mm.
And they are ruled by,
Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion. But this could give, listen, this is definitely huge facts. I have a Sagittarius friend. I have a couple of Sag friends, but one in particular, when I say the cockiness to another level, like very cocky and very overconfident, you know, but they have Sagittarius people, because they are the planet, they have the planet of luck and expansion. They know how to use their mouthpiece. They can talk a good game. And one of the traits is overconfidence, arrogance, fantasism, over expansion, doing the most, like just doing the absolute most. It don't be necessary. It
I'm
don't be necessary.
Sagittarius rising and North Node.
See, I'm a Sag, Saturn and Uranus. So that affects me more on the responsibility and freedom level.
Hmm.
Um, but I love Sag though.
Sag,
I really
Sag is
do
cool with
love
me.
Sag people. Is they fire. Like
Very
they
fun
really are fire.
and exciting. Like,
Trey
even
Songz.
though impulsiveness and bluntness and restlessness is like the top three of the negative traits I had, I think that those types of characteristics coupled with Sagittarius's need for freedom and like
Mhm,
self-expression,
mhm,
makes
mhm.
for a motherfucker that gets shit done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, what their negative traits, there may be over cockiness, there may be arrogance, but
They
like
ain't
if
got
you
no
have
discipline.
you ain't got to worry about somebody that's overconfident or cocky holding themselves into a box that they don't need to be in because they're
Right.
going to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also heard that commitment wise, Sagittarius, with all of that, they don't make for the most faithful partners.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I think all the zodiacs got a little thought in them. I
Yeah,
know some do.
yeah.
Trey Songz is a Sag.
I'm not
I
surprised.
love Sag. I love Sag.
He might be a Scorpio Venus. I don't know.
He's he's a Sag. And I have Sag. Sag is a very it's them fire signs. They have such a radiating, vibrant energy being a fire sign. But with Sag, y'all take it over the top. Y'all do the most sometimes. And it don't be necessary. But y'all don't let nobody dim y'all light either. Y'all don't let nobody dim y'all light. That nobody's doing that. Airy, you can't do that to a fire sign, period.
Oh no.
You
We
can't
ain't
do
having
that
none
to
of it.
no,
It'll
not at
burn you down to the ground, please.
all. Not at all.
Okay.
Who we got next? How much time? Cap,
Capricorn.
the daddy of the zodiac. You can't tell him shit, nothing.
Honey. Now, like I prefaced before, I did my Leo slander. Preface again before I do my Capricorn slander. My grandmother, my father, and my 9-year-old son are all Capricorns. I know them, I love them, and they also get on my nerves. So, Kina, give me your top three negative traits before I roll into mine.
Listen, they're mean. They're mean. They're
Assholes.
mean. Mean. They
Yes.
are assholes. They are so. They will tell you about yourself, read you your rights. Read you your rights. They are so mean. They're very over responsible. I have a Capricorn Venus. So when it comes to financial things, I'm very Capricorn. I'm very over the top. And it comes from trauma. It definitely stems from trauma.
Hmm.
But very possessive. They're possessive, especially if they worked hard and they put in effort, and they are very possessive. So those are mine. Possessiveness, they're mean as hell, and they're over responsible. Like they're very anal when it comes to their money.
Anal is correct. Like, they, you know, let me go ahead and put this in my notes for another t-shirt design, but Capricorn, aka the anal ones.
This is true. I,
Because
as a Capricorn Venus, very anal about their money.
um yeah, my top three: pessimistic,
That's on here.
workaholics,
Mhm.
very stubborn. My father, I don't be giving a fuck. People be like, why do you see stuff like that? Because I don't fucking care. My daddy, drug addict. But I tell you one thing about my daddy, he ain't one of them. My daddy's not fueling his habit by standing on the corner with a sign. That man gets up every fucking day and he works
Mhm.
hard.
A functioning.
Yeah, high
Mhm.
functioning to a certain
Mhm.
extent. Like crackheads, crackhead. They gonna crackhead like crackheads do at some
Mhm.
point. But and I need to stop saying that's such a negative thing to say about my daddy. But
You're dealing with it.
it's how I handle life. I had to
Mhm.
stop holding him to this pedestal. It's my
Yeah,
father.
yeah, yeah.
It's a man with a habit that my mother had a child with. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, that man works. He works. Never graduated from high school. only had a handful of like real deal file your tax jobs, but he
Mhm.
works every day. And then stubbornness. Stubbornness, even my 9-year-old, like, you can't tell that little motherfucker anything. You can guide him, you could tell him, but he's still going to try to figure it out on his own. And even in my notes, like Taurus and Leo, Capricorn is resistant to change with a rigid approach to life. They believe that what they say goes, they believe that what they believe is reality, and so on and so forth. And then Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, yes?
Yes, so that comes with fear, insecurities, pessimism, emotional repression.
And
Again, I'm a Capricorn Venus, and the let's just say the when it comes to my emotions, I am more in my masculine than in my feminine. I emotional repressed, yes. Capricorns, they hide how they feel, they stuff it, they stuff that shit, and they put work on top of it. Yep.
And like I said to y'all a little earlier, it's one thing to know what your sun sign is. It's another thing to understand what the planet that is connected to your zodiac sign does. Saturn is rigid. Saturn is drag your ass straight the fuck to hell, heaven, back, somewhere in between, tie you to a
Mm-hmm.
horse, drag you some more, and then let you get up, tell you to walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it sees that you can step, it'll be like, hey, I got a little blessing for the trouble I
Yeah.
put you through. That's
Yeah.
Capricorn.
Yeah.
That's Saturn. That's Capricorn.
And Saturn is the planet of limitations. And so Saturn is one of the planets that has rings on it. You're restricted. I'm going to confront you with your limitations. I'm going to confront you with your restrictions and make you work hard to get through this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So Saturn's one of the mean planets too. It is. It's one of the main planets. It's yeah. Saturn is one kind of like Pluto that's going to take you through some things, but Saturn is doing that to teach a lesson. Is a lesson behind it, and with Saturn being the that planet that the Capricorns, they will overwork themselves into straight spazzing and cussing people out and telling you about yourself. Listen, I have a Capricorn sister, may her soul rest, and baby don't get on her bad side. She will blast you on social media and tag your name so you know it's real.
Me and my granny, like, she's a Capricorn. And I have not talked to her in probably a year because she was an alcoholic at a time for a long time.
Mhm.
Nuts. Nuts. All of the extras you're speaking to drag you straight to hell, get on social media, blast you all things. Like, me and my granny would get into it, and I would have to block her for long periods of time because otherwise we'd be arguing through text. You won't post about it on Facebook. Like, we're not. No,
Mhm.
no, no, no.
They can be mean. They can be really mean. I love Capricorns though. I really do. I love
They're cool
Capricorns,
people. They just
but
got some
they
ways
are
about them.
yeah, they but don't get on a bad side. They will read you your rights disrespectfully.
I will also say,
That's not a t-shirt. Read you disrespectfully. I love it.
yeah,
Look,
I think the shirt might have to be I'm a Capricorn.
anally read you disrespectful. Because they will, honey, read you. Listen, but that I'm telling you, if they rock with you, they got you. They
They
gonna keep
will do what they
responsibility.
can, yes,
Mm-hmm.
to make sure. And I even like with my grade, motherfucker was definitely mean. She'll talk shit about you. They gossip too. Like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like layers to the dark side of a Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
But like Saturn. They definitely will make sure that you are straight. They make sure you're well, but they also enjoy watching you squirm and trying to figure it out at the same time. Like,
Mhm.
what you
Mhm.
said? Me.
Whew, Lord.
Aquarius.
Mm, 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 mm. I have a sip of water. Whew, child, them
That's what
aqua.
I'm saying, because I know my man gonna watch him, baby. I think you are evolved, okay? I think you're the greatest man that ever did live. But I've also
My,
known you when
my
you were a
wife
teenager.
is my wife is evolving.
It comes with the territory. And as my husband would say, everyone's age of realization is very different. We don't, first of all, like we're all growing until
Mm-hmm.
you're not. But
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
keep growing, we keep evolving, and
Yeah.
like none of us are perfect.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I don't give a fuck how imperfect you are. If you're
Right.
measuring yourself up against, don't measure yourself up against nobody, but if you are, you'll probably never be as bad as an unevolved Aquarius. Unhinged. They don't
Fucking
give a
nuts.
fuck about shit. Aloofness. Emotionally detached.
Love
They
it.
are driven, yeah, Aquarius are driven by a need for independence. Who rules Aquarius, Kina?
Uranus. The planet that wants to do whatever the fuck it wants to do.
What do we
Yeah.
even really know about Uranus? Like, really thinking about it. You just like, I don't know, but that motherfucker is out there planeting, I promise you.
It is the planet of it's the planet of constant change, constant
Transformation.
shift, kind of similar to Pluto.
Yes.
Um, but the constant change and shift is rebellious. It
That's what I was gonna say. It's more
You don't have to
spiritual.
deprogram. Well, I won't say you don't have to deprogram what's Uranus. Uranus don't want to be like nobody else. They don't want to do nothing like nobody else. They want to do what the fuck they want to do. And they want to expand and learn different things. They don't want to stay programmed. They don't want to be in the matrix. They're close to Pisces, which is the spiritual of the spiritual enlightenment. And so it's like you're not going to restrict me. You can't restrict an Aquarius. You
Ever.
can't restrict.
And like for those of you where you want to drop down below in the comments and agree about all of the Aquarius slander, where it's just like, yeah, this motherfucker. Well, best thing for you with an Aquarius is to let them Aquarius. They're unpredictable, they're very stubborn, they're inflexible, they resist anything normal. They don't. And even when they do normal things, chances are they did the normal thing to defy someone telling them they couldn't do the abnormal thing. Like they're
Yeah,
free, they are
yeah,
them, they are the moment.
yeah.
Aquarius will also lie like a motherfucker. I don't like my brother's an Aquarius, my husband's an Aquarius. I've had Aquarius friends, I got lots of Aquarius clients.
And it's so crazy you said unpredictable because that's the first one. Unpredictable, rebellious, chaos,
Erratic. I was gonna say erratic, yes.
disruption, unreliability, emotional detachment. Like what?
And
What?
even with the emotional detachment, like it's so crazy because they will be all these ways. They do all these things. They're kind of aware of the fact that that thing is a thing for them, but the rules don't apply to an Aquarius.
Mhm.
And they behave and they make decisions and they communicate as if the rules do not apply to them because they don't. They're not human. I'm not that. Look, another t-shirt idea. I'm not a human. I'm an Aquarius.
Yes, spot on. They lit, yeah, but they're lit though. They're fucking vibe. They are fucking
The
vibe.
vibest of vibes. Like,
They are a vibe, but baby, if you ain't built for tough,
come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I know, buddy. Come here. Oh, baby. We got a baby, y'all. But we're
if
wrapping
you
up,
ain't
so it's
if
all good.
you ain't built for tough,
Don't
see,
even think
we
about it.
built for tough. Mona may be a little bit more built than me, but, but we built for tough.
I am grateful that and that's what I be trying to tell people. Like I said, my husband will tell you people's ages of realization are very, very different.
Mhm.
And I am grateful that he realized very early on in our 20s that the course we were headed on wasn't gonna work. And he started to work on himself, but like that's not the decision that most people come to where they want to grow, and that's not a normal decision for an Aquarius to make because they don't give a fuck about fitting in.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
see that, buddy? Okay.
yeah. And that's why I said, I'm grateful my wife is evolving. um I can't say unevolved because she's becoming, especially since being with me, she's becoming very aware of her surroundings and of things that are going on. And so she's the fact that she's becoming aware, it's like, okay, so I'm very grateful for the evolving stage. I'm still evolving. I'm just a little ahead in the evolving game. I've been on my journey a little longer. She's very new to her evolving journey. um and so baby, you got to be for built for tough.
Yep.
And then I'm a cougar, so you got to be built for tough.
You gotta have your
So,
shit
you get
together.
older, you get a little set in your ways. I'm a little set in my ways. I'm a little set, you know. And them aquas, they will challenge you to be rebellious and go against the grain with them. You cannot be set and stagnant in your ways with an Aquarius. You got to be ready to be spontaneous and experience rebellion and different things. Like with oh, you want to go bungee jump today? What? you know they're very spontaneous, and that spontaneous, that I don't know if spontaneism is a word.
Spontaneity.
But it could be good and it can be bad, like you
Yeah.
said, there's a light and shadow to everything. There's good and bad to everything. Without it, there would be no balance. It has to be balanced.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
the spontaneous part of it could be really good, have you stepping outside the box doing different things, but it can also ruffle some feathers.
Because it's just like, motherfucker, why would you wake up and decide that today was the day for you to do that weird ass shit?
Like randomly, let's go bungee. What? You know, but yeah.
I love a good Aquarius, though. They're good people. They all right with me. Even though I could be talking about their asses like a dog. Like, because
A
it's just
vibe.
so ironic to me that it doesn't matter feminine, masculine, old, young, somewhere in between. Don't be slapping on my table like you got a good point. Old, young, or somewhere in between. Like, Aquarius are just different and they're such a fucking vibe. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes.
So, last but not least, Pisces. Want to go? No, she gonna try to tear up my office. Stop.
Y'all, unevolved Pisces, we ain't shit. I have been an unevolved Pisces, so I can say we. I'm currently evolving, but listen, unevolved ain't shit. Will ghost you like it's nobody's business. You will literally wake up and they'll be gone.
You
Escape.
know,
Escapism is
that was my number one, escapism.
gone. You know, I talked to Mona before we went on, and I had me a little herb sesh, and I was like, I that used to be my escape, And then I learned how to not have it as an escape, but be more mindful.
Hmm.
But even unevolved me, the drinking and the turning up, not an alcoholic, no, but I will escape, have me one too many, and you find me in somebody's bathroom, slum, slum. I've had some sessions like that here in my house, but see, I'm in my house and my wife can take care of me.
Yeah.
My wife can take care of me. But escapism and you got to find different things to escape with in music and more up to, but unevolved, you escape where into sex, into the bottle, into drugs, different relationships. Pisces will escape.
Yes. Um, Even for me as a Pisces moon, I would definitely say like before my spiritual journey, yes, heavy on the escapism on all three. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like especially the drinking where it really probably was quite a bit of alcoholism. Like I wouldn't drink all day, but there wouldn't be anything to stop me from drinking at 9 a.m. every day for 3, 4, 5 days in a row,
Mm-hmm.
or throwing up at the end of the night every night, or going
Mm-hmm.
to a party and like embarrassing myself, especially if I was feeling emotionally
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
particular way of the other or the other. And that's my second most negative trait about Pisces in general, was that we as a collective, whether it's your moon, your rising, your sun, very, very over fucking sensitive and quite fucking delusional. Something about being ruled by Neptune, just you're not grounded in reality. Like,
No.
there's another t-shirt idea. I'm a Pisces, so Delulu is indeed the Salulu.
No, really. And that's crazy because for Neptune, the first characteristic is illusion. We're not here half the time. We're not here. I as I'm a Pisces stellium. I'm a big Pisces. Pisces Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. So I'm a very big Pisces, and my Mercury retrogrades. So we're not really here. We're the first. We're the last of the zodiac, and that's the spiritual part. So we are in different realities. We are here, and we are always in another reality. We are always in multiple realities. The overthinking to the max, to the max. The overthinking would be so to the max that we didn't came up with a whole delusional situation that just happened, just came up like y'all. I will tell y'all one story. I can honestly, with 100% say that my wife ain't crazy to ever cheat on me or entertain at all. I've never been so sure about that with anybody in the past. I'm very sure about that. But I was such in a delusional state at one point where I went to the car and there was handprints on the outside of the window like this. I went off. I went off.
Not the
I
crazy friend.
I went crazy. And I'm also licensed to carry. I went crazy. And that's something that we laugh about now. And I even be like, that still could have been somebody handprint stuff. So who did you have bent over
Girl,
on?
shut your ass up. Yeah, that's
What?
some Pisces shit for sure.
Listen, listen, I told y'all, listen, just because we are healers do not mean that we are not still healing.
We're
And,
healing.
and
Yes.
I'm telling you, it took me till probably a couple months ago to finally say, you know what, that was real delusional, Sakina.
Look at you
And
growing.
we've been together for almost 3 years. So yeah, for 2.5 years, I was like, so who the fuck handprints was on the window? And she was like, it could have been one of the kids outside playing, and who handprints?
Could have been a stranger. How you know somebody wasn't trying to steal your car?
Who'd you have bent over on the window like this? Like delusional, overthinking to a max.
That's tough.
You know,
That's
the addiction, and we talked about escapism and it becoming addiction, and that was another thing with addiction. I was very hypersexual, come from a lot of trauma and things.
yeah.
And so I wouldn't put it on the addiction line, but when I started my journey and I was celibate, that was one of the most hardest things for me to gain control over, you know, confusion, because we all over the place. Now it could be laziness. Let's talk about it, Pisces. Let's talk about the laziness.
Yeah. That's a
Talk
part of
about
the
it.
indecisiveness though, and like not being rooted in reality. Motherfuckers be so in your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
All
in
the
your
time.
head.
Y'all ask Mona, I'll be like, do you think I should do this? Like, is the camera this way? Like, do I look this way? Then she'd be like, girl, you're fine.
Who gives a fuck? Turn it on. Shit.
Y'all, definitely. And it's because we're all over the place. And first of all, we got all the rest of y'all zodiacs in us. Like, we're the last. Like, we have to deal with all of y'all energies inside of us. And it's a bit much.
Yeah.
It can be a bit, being a Pisces is a bit much.
Come here, say.
You know, word of advice for my Pisces, if you have Pisces heavily aspected, grounding, make it your best friend. I love my earth placements. I love the earth because it's very important. That's one of my favorite elements is the earth, because as a Pisces, because I tend to overthink and I tend to have my head everywhere and I tend to, sometimes have delusional thinking, staying grounded definitely helps maintain that, helps me stay in this realm, staying present. I was just telling Mona, and I was telling all of you guys, with the hurricane, I had to stay grounded during that time.
Mhm.
And as a water sign, yes, we're meant to be free and flowing, but because we are all over the place emotionally, staying grounded is very important. Connected to an earth in some way, hugging a tree, planting your feet, meditating is very important for a Pisces, because
Mhm.
you will be off in a different realm somewhere. You talking to us right here. Like, my mom used to be so mad at me because she would be talking to me and be right next to me and I won't hear her. And I'm not intentionally ignoring you. I'm not here. I'm not here.
I have to keep that in mind with Zen, because Zen is a Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
And same, same. I told you even today he got in trouble because it's just like, why are you somewhere else doing something else after this was all you had to do? This was it. Do
Mm-hmm.
what I told you to do. And he's still just not like, I could see that very
Yeah.
much. I do have a Pisces kid, and I definitely could see that. It's tough.
People pleasers, naive. Yeah. See, y'all thought because I was a Pisces, I wasn't gonna ride us.
I
Like,
talk shit about the Aries.
gullible. Like,
I feel
just
like
come.
Pisces are synonymous with also there's a significant delay in boundary setting and
Mm-hmm.
being in appropriate types of situations. And to your point, Kina, it's the not being present.
Mm-hmm.
It's the not being present. Like that's tough, man.
Mm-mm. Escape, and so you're not present because you want to escape from stuff. But as soon as somebody needs you,
Yeah.
you're jumping to show up. You know, I'm telling y'all, with me being a heavy Pisces and I have Aries heavy aspected, that is my ultimate destiny, is to set boundaries, stay present, and just show up as who the fuck. My Aries is forcing me to bitch be you.
Yeah.
And my Pisces is like, but they see me, they watching me, they looking at me. Y'all, I'm telling you. And it's two fish, so it's like two of me. I be all over the place. I be gone. I didn't see different realms. It's interesting. I be just sitting there. I be sitting there driving and literally will be drift off in a whole nother realm. They ain't ignoring you. The Pisces is not ignoring you. Okay. They're just not there.
That's tough. You trying to show?
Yes.
I wish you could see him over here, girl, trying to shuffle these cards. He just got him doing like this.
Demaya was doing that yesterday. She was sitting up. I said, "You finna do a reading, girl?" She was like, "Yeah." She takes. I have all my crystals lined on my windowsill so they can cleanse in the sunlight. And she comes and she switches them out and she puts them in her room and her windowsill, and then she has some under her pillow. It's like, look at you, girl, watching.
Why are you shaking my table?
Oh, that Gemini, he about to start spazzing. Y'all, please remember that every zodiac, everything had as above, so below. Everything has a light, everything has a shadow.
You
I'm very aware of my shadow. Her name is Lucy Marie.
know,
And
Lord.
I have, I got a good leash on her. I really do. I got a good leash on her. She's very protective of me. She's very protective and she guards me, but she can be a little bit much. And so you really have to learn there's a light and shadow to everything. So just like there's good traits for every zodiac, there are some negative traits that that you have to work through and you have to gain control over. So if you got soft skin and you just sat here and you feel some type of way, sorry, not sorry.
No, grow up.
Get
You can't
over it.
survive out here.
Yeah.
Get
What
out
my
your
mom used to say, they
Pisces.
talked about Jesus.
We talked about Lucifer too.
Yeah, like who cares?
We don't know these people personally, y'all. And I won't spiral because Kina and I really are going. Our next session, we're going to talk about astrology and religion and how they are synonymous and synchronicities that we see. Just giving like our own personal opinions and things like that. And I ain't pulling no cards today, but I probably will pull some cards when we do that as well. Um,
Mhm.
but
That's gonna be dope.
these zodiac, like astrology is very cool and everything has its meanings and things like that, but these are just blueprints. Like I'm very Aries dominant in my chart, in the way that I love, the way that I communicate, the way that I take action, just lots of different things. But I don't choose to just say, oh, well, it is how it is. This is who I
Yeah,
am as a person. Like,
yeah, yeah.
you have to understand that, like, these are just blueprints for what could be a possibility for you as being aspected by these signs and by these placements and by these planets. It's not definite. This is it. Like,
Mm-hmm,
free
mm-hmm.
will. Free will is a real thing, y'all.
Yeah.
You have the decision to choose. And so even for those of you where part of the reason why you may have felt triggered, or even if you just listen to this today and you're like, yeah, I am like that. I am like that. I am like that. That makes a lot of sense. I encourage you all to start to work on those things.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
how you evolve. You become very aware of your
yeah.
shadow self. You become aware of your limitations and motivations and tendencies and things like that. And then you set limits on those behaviors and you have to find something better to replace them with.
Yes.
How you grow
I definitely agree and believe that it's very good. We giving y'all cheats,
for
so
free.
take the traits, and if they did something to you, it's because it resonates, you know, and you just take that, you gain control, sit and reflect on it, release parts of you that ain't serving you. And there may be some negative traits that you don't want to release. That's where you, again, like she said, set those boundaries, gain that control, but be authentic with it. Don't try, please don't think that this journey is picture fucking perfect, because it's not. Once you go on a healing journey, an awakening journey, or any journey like that, it 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 gets more challenging, but but the light on the other side, and watching yourself grow and watching yourself evolve, A lot of those traits I have evolved from, some I'm still evolving from. It's the awareness that makes it so amazing. But people, astrology, you create your own path. Your astrology, getting your birth chart, is giving you a cheat to dive into it and to learn everything about it, so that you can have your cheat sheet. Oh, okay, so this is going to trigger me around this time because of, oh, Pluto's doing this. Okay, so I need to do this so this don't trigger me.
And also like in getting to know others as well, because like we said, we have a lot of knowledge about these things as well because we
Mhm,
both do deal with a large range of clients. We're well versed in astrology. Like
mhm,
we've learned and experienced these things, but like even for those of you where you may be dealing with a new boss or a friend or a lover and you want to know like some of the things to be mindful of, you start seeing people that are exhibiting these
mhm.
more negative traits that we're talking about, baby, run because they're not ready. They're
Oh
not ready.
yeah,
Like,
we wasn't even girlfriends yet, and I was like, "Can I have your? Do I have permission for your birth information? What? I want to pull your birth chart.
I
I
want a
want to pull your
conversation
birth.
after the
I got
fact.
her, my wife, and my kids' birth chart, and I need to know. Your social, yeah, but I needs to know your birth chart information.
What do the stars say about you?
Right.
Well, don't forget to drop below in the comments and let us know which signs you think are the
Yeah.
absolute worst. Let
Yeah.
us know if anything resonated for your own personal sun sign as well, if you're gonna get in them comments talk shit about other people.
Please do, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to us, Stars and Cards, and check us out on TikTok as well.
Yes. Love you. Bye.
Bye.